In this video, we are looking at multiplying numbers by 0.1, 0.01, and 0.001. The big idea is that multiplying by 0.1 is the same as dividing by 10. Because if you think about it, 0.1 is 1/10. We've got 1 in our tenths place value column. So what we want is 8 lots of a tenth, or you can think of that as 1/10 of a lot of 8. Now 1/10 of 8 is what you get if you divide 8 into 10 equal parts. So what this is really saying is that we want to do 8 divided by 10. If we just skip to C for a moment, you'll see that we've got 86 multiplied by 0.01, and that is 1 in the hundredths column. So we want 86 lots of a hundredth, or a hundredth of 86. Now to find 1/100th of 86, we want to divide that 86 into 100 equal parts. So that's the same as 86 divided by 100. And you can use the same kind of logic to see how question F is just the same as 823 divided by 1000. Now, why am I telling you this? Well, the whole point is that you should already know how to divide numbers by 10 or 100 or 1000. When you divide something by 10, you simply move each digit one place value column to the right. When you divide it by 100, you move each digit two place value columns to the right. And when you divide it by 1000, you move each digit three place value columns to the right. So when you're multiplying by 0.1, because it's the same as dividing by 10, you're just simply going to move each digit one place value column to the right. Let's take a look at A as an example. We've got 8. That's 8 units or 8 ones. To multiply this by 0.1, it's the same as dividing it by 10, which means we need to move each digit one place value column to the right. So we end up with 8 in the tenths column. And I need a decimal point in line here. And I need a placeholder 0 because we don't like starting a number with a point. So I've got 0.8. So that is pretty much all there is to it. Pause the video and have a go at part B. In part B then, what you should have found is that we started with 92 and multiplying by 0.1, remember, is the same as dividing by 10. So that means we move each digit one place value column to the right. So anything in the tens column goes into the ones column. Anything in the ones column goes into the tenths column. And we mustn't forget our decimal point if we need it. So we have our answer of 9.2. Let's have a look at question C next. We've got 86 times 0.01. So that's the same as 86 divided by 100. And I need to remember to move each digit two place value columns along to the right. So I've got 8 in the tenths column and 6 in the hundredths column. I mustn't forget this decimal point, and I need a placeholder 0 there because I don't like starting a number with a decimal point. So 0.86 is the answer I'm looking for. Pause the video and have a go at question D. Here's what you should have got. You should have spotted that D was the same as 7 divided by 100. Remember, this is 7 lots of 1/100th, which is the same as 1/100th of a lot of 7, which is the same as dividing 7 by 100. So we've got 7 ones or 7 units that we need to then shift two place value columns along to the right. So we end up with 7 hundredths. I now need placeholder 0s here and here with the decimal point, of course. So that's 0.07. Next, we've got E. Now, some students will get tripped up by this and they will wrongly write something like this to start with. 0.01 divided by 40. That's wrong. All they've done is change the multiplying by 40 into dividing by 40, and that does not make sense. What you've actually got to do here is spot that 0.01 times 40 is the same thing as 40 times 0.01, because remember, it doesn't matter which way round you multiply two numbers together. And 40 times 0.01 is the same as 40 divided by 100. Remember, multiplying by 0.01 or 100th is the same as dividing it by 100. So let's rub out these numbers here and pop the 40 into our place value columns like this. Dividing that by 100 means moving each digit 2 place value columns to the right. So we have 4/10 and 0/100. I need a decimal point here, and I also need a 0 there. So I've got 0.40, and I don't need that 0 on the end, so I can just write this as 0.4. Pause the video and have a go at F for yourself. Here's how you should have done it. Starting with 823. Multiplying by 0.001 is the same as dividing by 1,000. So we're going to move each digit 3 place value columns to the right. Which means we've got the hundreds moving into the tenths. So the 8 goes there. We've got the tens moving into the hundredths. That's 3 columns to the right. The 2 goes there. And the units or the ones moving into the thousandths. So the 3 goes there. I need my decimal point right here. And that means I also need a 0 there. So 823 divided by 1,000 is 0.823. Hopefully you've got the hang of these. We've got a few more questions for you to try for yourself. Here are the final 6 questions. See if you can answer these questions without needing to use place value columns drawn out for you like this. Here are the answers. If you got any wrong, I strongly recommend that you check your work by putting the numbers into place value columns like this, and remembering multiplying by 0.1 means dividing by 10, which means moving each digit 1 place value column to the right. Multiplying by 0.01 means moving each digit 2 place value columns to the right, and multiplying a number like this by 0.001 means moving each digit 3 place value columns to the right.